Yellowstone fans, brace yourselves. Now that 1923 comes to an end, the Yellowstone franchise is getting ready to announce a massive reveal. As many of you already guessed, it is yet another prequel series, which is basically the pillar of the entire franchise. This time we're going to the year 1969 when Woodstock was at its peak, Charles Manson was terrorizing Hollywood, we went to the moon, the Vietnam War was ruining lives, and the Cold War was still a thing. Now it's time to explore how all these social and historical events shaped the Duttons. And trust me, big changes are ahead for the iconic family, even though a lot of the characters will be the same with 1923, including an older version of our beloved Spencer, so let's talk about it. If you're the type to dig through IMDb listings, just like me, you might have already stumbled upon the clue hidden in 1923 Season 2 Episode 7's cast list. As we all know, Episode 7 will be the season finale of the show and it will be at a feature film length, so needless to say, it's a pretty big deal that will be filled with clues for the rest of the franchise and more. So imagine my surprise when I saw a character named Spencer 1969 set to appear, which basically screams that we're getting a flash forward scene showing an older version of Spencer Dutton. And just like that, my friends, the Yellowstone saga expands once again. Because guess what? This little IMDb breadcrumb doesn't just confirm that Spencer survives 1923 Season 2, which is a huge relief, not gonna lie, but it also hints that he'll play a crucial role in the Dutton lineage leading up to Yellowstone. That means 1969 will drop us right into the thick of a new era for the ranch, bringing us a whole new perspective on the family's legacy, and yes, I cannot wait for that. But let me know what you think of this specific year choice and the fact that we will watch Spencer once again. I know some of you guys have already had enough of the guy and some of you want to see more of him. That being said, if you've been keeping up, you already know that Taylor Sheridan is a mastermind when it comes to weaving together timelines, even though I like to criticize his writing choices pretty often on this channel. So far, the Yellowstone franchise has had these milestones. 1883 set the stage, 1923 built on that foundation, and 1944 is already in the works, at least I hope so. But Taylor loves a good in-show tease, just like how 1883 and 1923 were hinted at within the Yellowstone original series before they became official. So it's no shocker that 1969 would also be introduced through a scene inside another show. Plus, the IMDb also reveals that the episode that's expected to reveal 1969 is called A Dream and a Memory. Well, if that title alone doesn't scream flash forward or dream sequence, I don't know what does. I don't know about you guys, but to me, there's a solid chance we'll see Spencer envisioning his future self in this episode, especially since this will be the episode in which he finally reaches home, Montana. So this will undoubtedly be a defining moment for both his character and the future of the Dutton family. These sound great and all, but who will play the part of Spencer in the new show? Is it possible that Taylor will cast Brendan Sklenar once again since the actor simply became Spencer Dutton in people's eyes? Well, both yes and no. According to IMDb, in this sneak peek within 1923, Gerard Sanders will be playing Spencer in 1969. Perhaps you might remember him from the first Iron Man movie as Howard Stark, and personally, I love this casting. His appearance checks, and he's a good actor for sure. Here's the thing though, we all know that Taylor loves his A-list leads, right? So personally, I wouldn't be surprised if a bigger name steps in for the actual series. This can simply be a version of Brandon that got masterfully old with the help of makeup and of course AI, but a stronger option is to simply cast an actor such as Kurt Russell, who is already rumored to star in a Yellowstone prequel series and has an undeniable resemblance to Brandon. I don't know about you guys, but to me, this would be the perfect casting for sure. Do tell me your thoughts on this though. Do you think Kurt Russell would be a good choice to play an older Spencer? As far as the storyline is concerned, 1969 can go in multiple ways since there are simply too many topics to explore. Well, for starters, John Dutton will be around 10 years old in this timeline. That means we'll see his early years on the ranch. Since Jack is killed off in the recent 1923 Season 2 Episode 6, we know that Spencer will be the one who raises John. So 1969 can simply be a story of John being raised by Spencer and his father on the ranch. As someone who loves a good father-son story, this would be an absolute gem in my eyes, but Let me know what you think of the idea. One thing's for sure though, the world of 1969 is going to be vastly different from what we've seen before. As I briefly mentioned at the beginning of the video, the late 1960s were a time of massive social change, and Montana wasn't immune to any of it, despite being fairly isolated. Plus, apart from the changing world outside, Montana was having its own iconic moments as well. For instance, we know that rodeos were at their peak at the time. They were not regarded just as competitions, but more as symbols of status. So winning one meant more than just a cash prize. It was the ultimate way of earning respect. So I feel like we can easily expect young John to be thrown headfirst into cowboy culture, proving his worth the old school way. And yes, my heart is beating faster even thinking about it alone, but let me know how you feel about getting a show that is fixated on the cowboy culture. And watch this video for a detailed analysis of the latest 1923 Season 2 episode.